So you wanted to get the lowdown on some big upcoming fights. And yeah, this women's boxing card, July 11th, Madison Square Garden. It's definitely one we need to talk about. We're going to zero in on the co-main event today.
Exactly. Yeah, because before we get to that massive Taylor Serrano trilogy fight, which everyone's buzzing about, there's this other undisputed title fight, super featherweight.
Right. Who's in that one again?
You've got the unified champ, Alycia Baumgardner. Her record's pretty solid, 15-1, 7 knockouts.
Right.
And she's up against Jennifer Miranda from Spain. Miranda's undefeated, actually.
Oh,
12-0, though only one KO.
12-0. Interesting. Okay. And Baumgardner, she sounds, well, confident. I saw that quote, "I didn't come to stand beside greatness. I came to be it. My belts are staying with me." And still.
Yeah, that's quite the statement, isn't it? That kind of talk, heading into a fight like this, it's bold.
Definitely bold. What do you make of that level of, self-belief? Does it help or does it just add pressure?
Like can cut both ways, right? It fuels her, sure. But for Miranda, hearing that's probably just extra motivation. Bulletin board material.
Ah, good point. And Miranda has her own angle too, doesn't she? Something about Spanish boxing history.
Exactly. She said, this is my opportunity to become the first ever undisputed champion from Spain, and I will do so. That's massive. Huge pressure, but also a huge potential reward for her country.
So you've got personal ambition versus national pride almost. And the promotion side is interesting too. Most valuable promotions. That's Jake Paul's company, right?
Yep, MVP. Him and Alycia Baumgardner. They're quoted saying they see Baumgardner potentially becoming the most valuable fighter in the sport.
Wow. And she only signed with them back in March. That seems fast. To go from signing to co-main event, undisputed defense on Netflix.
It's incredibly fast. It tells you a lot about MVP's strategy. They're clearly not messing around. They want to build stars, women's boxing stars, quickly. They see marketability and talent in Baumgardner.
And putting her on Netflix, that's a big platform, shows the demand is there, I guess.
Absolutely. It speaks volumes about the growing audience for top-tier women's fights. They wouldn't put it there if they didn't expect eyeballs.
Okay, so we have this compelling co-main, but let's not forget the main event. You also mentioned wanting to touch on Taylor versus Serrano 3. That second fight, man, that was something else.
Oh, it was an absolute war, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I heard something like 74 million views for the highlights. And they threw over 1,200 punches combined.
Yeah.
Just relentless action.
And the result was tight, too. Super close.
Incredibly close. Taylor won, but it was 95-94 on all three judges' cards. Unanimous, but barely. And here's the thing. There was definitely chatter afterwards because Serrano actually landed way more punches, like over 100 more.
Right. I remember that controversy. So that close finish, the punch stats, that just adds fuel to the fire for this third fight, doesn't it?
Exactly. Leaves that question mark hanging in the air. Yeah. People want to see if Serrano can close the deal this time or if Taylor can win more decisively. It makes the trilogy almost mandatory.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got that history, that tension as the headliner, and then right before it, this other undisputed fight with Baumgardner and Miranda. The whole card is being called, what, a history-making trilogy, headlining an all-star, all-female fight card.
That's the billing. And honestly, it feels pretty accurate. It feels like a significant moment, a real marker for how far women's boxing has come.
When you look at the big picture then, what does a card like this signify? 2 undisputed title fights, same night, MSG, global broadcast.
It's validation, isn't it? Validation of the talent, the competitiveness, and the audience interest. It's a statement that these aren't just women's fights, they're championship fights, period. At the highest level in an iconic venue.
So we've covered Baumgardner's ambition, Miranda's historical quest, the promotional push, and the shadow of that intense Taylor Serrano rematch. When you put it all together for this deep dive, what really jumps out at you?
For me, it's that mix of individual drive and the sport's overall momentum. You see Baumgardner wanting to be the face, Miranda carrying the hopes of Spain. And it's all happening on this huge stage that validates women's boxing itself. It's pretty powerful stuff.
It really is. Loads to think about there. So with all that context, the ambition, the pride, the controversy looming in the main event, what are you personally going to be watching for most closely when Baumgardner and Miranda step into the ring?